Hello everyone, Sunton2 and welcome to another comparison, this time on food and other types of mods that sort of relate to it. So, look through a multitude of different ones, from those that have, crops and other such things, different recipes and uses for foods, some that change up the system entirely, those with additional benefits like potion effects, trees, and so on. So, you have mods like Beta Health Updated, which obviously change it so that you have difference of health, which, while that doesn't really affect food too much in terms of not having a hunger bar or not having certain other possibilities, that is sort of the case in terms of how food is affected. Alongside health, you've got simple farming for adding berry bushes, types of trees and crops, additional foods, and obviously you've got benefits between what you eat for saturation and hunger there. You've got useful food, for obviously combining different foods as well as creating new ones and having additional benefits there. Got Spice of Life Carrot Edition, which obviously changes the absorption, I guess alongside with Apple Core and otherwise. You've got those that obviously display the saturation amount, and also with Spice of Life, obviously depending on what you eat, it'll determine how much you can get out of that afterwards. If you've eaten a fair amount of them, it should probably change so that you can eat less of that. Obviously with the Carrot Edition, it's more of a rewarding experience than the Spice of Life, where it's more punishing the more you eat, and you have less that you can gain out of it. So if you eat, say, too many onions, you'll have it where you can't anymore. So, yeah, stuff like that. You've got a few more things as an example of if I can find it. Apple, there we go. There we go. So you've obviously got those that have different types of effect foods. So the different apples here. You can see regeneration and strength, a bunch of other effects there, a bunch of additional effects there. So you've got obviously foods that give additional benefits besides just being for hunger use. You've got fruit trees, similar to obviously simple farming, which adds additional trees and has fruit hanging off of them. So you've got obviously your more larger scale ones that add in a ton of different foods, seeds, bushes, trees and otherwise. And then you've got the more scaled down version that obviously has only a select few. It doesn't add any other biomes, it just uses the sort of typical biomes. And you've just got obviously apple trees, and a bunch of other fruit and otherwise options. So a more scaled down version is an option. You've got bone meal control to obviously affect crops. So obviously if you want to have it so that you affect crops with bone meal in different ways, you could do that. Configuring certain aspects of bone meal and so on. And how it affects other crops as well. You've got your bread type mods that obviously focus on changing bread to have dough or smelting in the furnace or certain other possibilities, such as, if I can find it, infinitely compressing it into one space. So I just say got a ton of bread. Obviously I don't have it in this instance, but if I did, I would have bread and I would have more, and I would just combine it in the, obviously it would be 3x3, not the 2x2 here. But if I did have it in a 3x3, I'd be compressing it into one space and then getting more and more and more in the same slot space there, and however much would be there. It was quite handy. otherwise, again, additional effects, but with other types of foods. You've got those that obviously add tons of other recipes and food types, such as pizza craft, or those that obviously use different blocks to achieve more foods. And different potion effects obviously as well are possible with this. And similar with the following here, making hamburgers, cheese, there's also tools, and a bunch of others that have different crafting stages. And then obviously you've got your sort of harvesting related ones that obviously change the fact that you can now right click to harvest rather than having to break all the time each and every crop. You can just right click and do it. Otherwise though, that pretty much covers many of the food mods I wanted to cover. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.